I'm glad that on any given day I can go to the Yahoo homepage and look at random articles, and about 6 times out of 10 I can find something that sets off another stream of consciousness. I read about this mom talking about how she and her teenagers watched 13 Reasons Why on Netflix, which is a show about a teenage girl that commits suicide and leaves a series of tapes behind to explain it that she sends to her friend or something. I haven't seen it myself. But what the mom was saying was that apparently the show made it seem like her suicide was justified as they got closer to the end of explaining things, and they wanted you to think that as you were watching it. Then she goes on to say that since the show is coming back for a second season, she doesn't think anybody should watch it because of its attitude towards suicide. Which is just plain inane, Jane. If you're scared your daughters are gonna kill themselves after watching this show, I totally bet they will, and it's your fault. Because if you don't have enough confidence in your history of parenting to alleviate concerns that 18 years of raising your child can be shattered by a few episodes of a television show, you've done a poor job. Anybody driven to end it all at the perceived behest of a Netflix original was never gonna make it on their own anyway, in which case you can consider it a self-imposed favor, preferable to a drawn-out existence of self-imposed suffering. I've said this before, but if you hate being alive, die. What are you waiting for? Life to get better on its own? You have to be the catalyst for that change, and most people in that state of mind are unwilling to lift a finger in that regard. They'd rather allow the world to continue to slowly crush them, because it's become the only comfortable feeling they can rely on. So if you're lazy enough to float aimlessly on your back in that pool of despair, you might as well muster up one last burst of effort and flip over on your stomach, that you may never have to take another chance or exist outside your comfort zone ever again in this cruel, cruel world. But the real point of contention here for me with this story is the idea that you should avoid watching something that doesn't perfectly align with your outlook on an issue. If you won't watch a show because it tackles subject matter in a way you disagree with, you're a very problematic person. To be a media creator is to be someone who can tell any story in any way they desire because the explanation of life is not limited to your own narrow point of view. Every perspective is valid when it comes to the screen. Every time I watch something I normally wouldn't think is my kind of thing, I glean countless insights now applicable to my own thought process, and we all grow as people when we do this. Limiting yourself to seeing only things that fall in line with your own reasoning can only serve to weaken the flexibility of your mental identity. Like when people were trying to Facebook boycott the 50 Shades of Grey movies because it tells a story they think is harmful. Sure, it's harmful. That's good. If every story had a positive, uplifting message, we'd be living on the fucking Sesame Street. Harmful stories need to exist just as much as, if not more than, morally secure ones. What you should never be allowed to do is silence a story from being told because it doesn't fit into your idealized world. But it encourages, no, shut up right now. You decide what to make of what you see. You and only you. I can watch a gay porno and come away with some new knowledge about the different possible sizes and shapes of weird medicinally modified dicks. That doesn't mean I'm about to go join the industry. Everybody makes their own choices, but when you stir up a boycott, you're the one trying to influence people, not the movie. So how about you knock that shit off? There's no end to the disgusting things people do with their babies. First of all, they aren't cherubs. Please keep them dressed in burqas at all times when you post pictures of them on the internet. I don't want to see your toddler's pointy girl nipples, and we wonder why there's more pedophiles than ever. Because it's safer to be one now. You don't need to go leer at kids through a chain link fence anymore. You can just click over to Diane's exclusively child porn Facebook page and watch her kids' wrinkly, misshapen asses jiggle around as they try to walk. Aw, we're both tuckered out after that video. Babies should never be on the internet for any reason. They should also just, not be born anymore. By the way, if you're a parent, please don't kiss your children on the mouth, you fucking predators. If you're not a parent, I advise this even more strongly. And if you have 2 toddler-age kids, a boy and a girl, good God, never have them kiss each other on the mouth. Are you praying for incest? Are you trying to raise the next dynamic brother-sister porn duo? My sister has a picture of her 4- and 2-year-old doing just that. It's framed. Not only did it happen in front of a camera, but that photographic evidence is framed and displayed prominently on a mantle, the focal point of a living room. The difference between having a picture of 2 toddlers kissing on a mantle and having it on a hard drive is prison. That's how child pornographers get away with it now. They disguise their porn as cherished family keepsakes. I love when regular gamers see a speedrunning video of a game they've never played and then act like that's how long the actual game is. There's a video of a guy beating Prey in 10 minutes and 52 seconds, and some of the comments are like, sorry, not gonna drop $60 on 10 minutes of gameplay. Are you an inconsolable fucking idiot? As if you'd pop the disc into your PS4 for the first time and then perfectly mimic that guy's run. You're not even a speedrunner. It'll take you 10 minutes just to figure out how to leave Morgan's apartment, you dumb bitch. How do you exist in that level of logical disconnect? I'm not a speedrunner. Speedrunning a video game is like racing to see how fast you can come, only with less payoff at the end, and whoever you're with is far from impressed. Meanwhile, trophy hunting is like trying to get every Boy Scout badge, even the one for loosening the belt buckles of your counselors. You play shitty games and have negative experiences just to earn trophies. How is that not like slogging through recreational molestation? Scout leaders are only thought of as pedophiles because they are all pedophiles. You have to be, to volunteer to spend your day in the woods with children. Why do you think they're called scouts? They're scouting for boys to fuck. Look, I found 12 that trust me implicitly. Enrolling your kids in the Scouts is an attractive option for parents who regret having children. Congratulations, Jimmy, you've earned the Being a Burden badge. If your aunt wasn't a drunk, we'd fake our deaths and leave you with her. In my comedic history, I have more jokes about hurting kids, both emotionally and physically, than any other topic by far, possibly combined. It's because there's something so fun about looking at a child's hope and watching it twist and crumble before your eyes. Do you ever eat ice cream in front of a toddler, and when he politely asks if he can have some, say, "No!" and then make him watch you throw the half-eaten pint in the trash, and then take the ice cream out of the trash and throw him in the trash instead? Then you're like, trash doesn't deserve ice cream, and you roll him out to the curb for the garbage men to pick up? You're giving me weird looks, but that was my childhood and I turned out fine. Well, that's going to do it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, you can like, share, and subscribe, and I'll play myself off.